Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you're having an amazing year so far. Professor VJ here. I'm coming back. I've been out doing a lot of celebrating for my birthday last month. I also got sick in the process of all of that. Very grateful for all the birthday well wishes. So blessed and grateful to see another year of life, another trip around the sun, as they say. But I've been following what's going on in social media. So much is happening. I've got a lot of catching up to do. But what I wanted to do today, I have this little hair here, is come and talk about the state of education. I've seen so many videos where teachers are literally walking out of the classroom mid-year. State of Arizona alone, this was back in December, where over 1,000 teachers quit. I think it was from like July through December. They were even offering up to $10,000 in some counties, some school districts to entice teachers to stay or to return. It's very troubling. And I guess my point of this video is to pose the question, who do you think is at fault for such a mass exodus? Many issues that have been discussed in these videos, lack of support from administration, heavy workload, total disrespect from students, total disrespect from parents, not teachers not being supported, and all of those are very troubling issues. So, my question is to you: who do you think is at fault? And if you were a teacher, would $10,000 entice you to leave if you had already left recently, like in the last 30, 60 days? And or if you were preparing to leave prematurely? I know. Many people are close to retirement. So, they'll, power through is one of my favorite words or phrases, power through to get to that retirement jackpot, so to speak. But many, new to the profession, I've been in the classroom for over 10 years now. Again, college level, totally different. I mean, there's politics, there's things that you have to deal with. My biggest frustration at my level is changing the platform. Within those 10 years, they've changed the platform that we use for, eCollege, Canvas, Engagely. Those are the platforms that we teach from. At my university. So that is my frustration, and because we have to change with technology. People are paying a lot of money for education, so we have to change with the times. Again, that's a separate issue. But in the secondary education, we're talking, middle school, high school, and I've seen a lot of these videos, and I guess, and this is probably unfair in a sense, because when I was growing up, things were different. I'm of a certain age. There was so much accountability at so many levels. If you acted out or you were disrespectful, if you talked back, if you said certain words, they may not even been a curse word, but they were close enough to a curse word, your parents would be notified. Your neighbors may get involved if you're part of a church, because many of the teachers were members of my community, members of my church, members of the community organization. So there were so many levels to it. So you were forewarned, and you knew that everything that you did outside of your house reflected your household and your parents. So there was which is good. There was accountability on so many levels. Today, we don't have those villages. We don't have those safeguards in place, because it helped us be better citizens, more productive. And again, these are just my opinions. Everything we say is for education and training purposes only, but I'm just, for my own experiences and observations. That's how we held ourselves accountable. Our parents held us accountable. The community held us accountable. Our teachers held us accountable. The administration held us accountable. I am saddened that I don't see those. And again, this is just a generalization. I'm sure it's happening some parts of the world, some schools, some communities. But as a collective, again, this is what's being shown on social media. Again, it's a small percentage of global. But my point is, it's happening so frequently. The numbers, statistics speak for themselves. Why are so many teachers so frustrated that they're literally walking out of the classroom during class session? Not the summers, not the breaks. Some of them are the breaks, but they're literally leaving the classroom. I've seen videos where they're teaching. The students are so disrespectful, cursing, throwing things, making, these very vulgar statements. Totally unacceptable. So they literally pack up their bags and they're like, I'm out of here. They may or may not give a resignation letter. So that's troubling, because what that does is If we, again, this is my, perception, these are my observations. Again, I've worked in the workplace for many years, taught for many years. The students that we have in these, high schools and middle schools, they're going to go somewhere after they graduate. They can't stay in high school forever, or middle school. They're either going, there are several paths that they have. They either will become a high school dropout, or well, I guess you can't drop out of middle school, but a high school dropout, a path to nowhere. We know what that usually ends up. They will either go to the military. I teach a lot of military students, a lot of family members in the military. So I have a lot of that background as well. Or they'll go to college, or they'll go to the workforce. So they will eventually go somewhere. If students are not learning, this was another reasons why teachers in some of these videos, they said they were leaving because the students were dumb, they were stupid, they couldn't read, they couldn't comprehend, they couldn't do any, basically school. And this is what direct quotes from some of these videos, parents were using school as a babysitter. They don't even want to deal with their own kids. So that's pretty sad to me. Again, my upbringing, non-negotiable. You had to go to school every day unless you were, almost on your deathbed, or, seriously sick or something like that. But you could not just say, oh, I don't feel good, I'm not going to go to school. That was unacceptable. Failure was not an option when I was growing up. So we have to get back to some of those, or, hybrid of those values that we had, because what we're doing now is not working. It's not working. It's not working in the workplace. It's not working in college. We have so many students that are coming into the workplace. They don't even know how to fill out an application. They don't know how to follow basic instructions. They don't know how to be a team player. They don't know how to be respectful. They don't know how to operate with basic life skills. This is a tragedy of not addressing these issues early in the process. It needs to start, and I've talked about this in previous videos, it needs to start early. When your kids are like 3, 4, 5, of course, age appropriate, nothing, I'm not being ridiculous here, but teach your children respect for themselves, for others, for property. Let them know that there are consequences, and follow through with them. Follow through with your consequences, the threats that you've given to your children. Because we had the fear of God. I mean, not literally, but figuratively. We knew that when we left our home, we represented our families. We represented our not just our nucleus family, but our immediate family, but our family in the community. My family was well connected, so whatever I did, someone in my family would find out about it before perhaps my parents found out about it. So when you're from a small town, news travels very fast, good, bad, or indifferent. So what my plea to you today, parents, grandparents, students, anyone watching this video, we as a community, we as a nation have to do better. We must do better, because again, these kids are going to go somewhere. They're going to go to military, they're going to go to college, they're going to go to the workforce. You have to be able to comprehend, you have to be able to read, you have to be able to write, to function as a productive citizen in these United States. You have to be. That's non-negotiable. Speak life over your children, speak life over your grandchildren. Tell them that they can make it. Remove all the negative talk. If they need resources, if they need a tutor, seek out those resources. I've talked before about going to the library. Start the process early, reading to your children. That helps them understand, form, thought patterns, become more analytical, be able to think, challenge them, maybe once a week, add a new word to the vocabulary, how to spell it, how to use it in a sentence. I don't know if any of you all watch the Ricky Smiley Show, and this is kind of funny, but I just thought about this. Gary with the T. No offense, Gary, but I think they're really hard on you. But every week it's like the word of the week or word of the day. He chooses a word, he has to pronounce, and he has to use it in a sentence. We should be doing that with our children. Again, no disrespect, Gary. That's a really fun part of your platform there. But we should be doing that with our children in all seriousness. Start reading. Stay away from these phones, the TVs, all these other distractions, because your kids are depending on you to help them be successful. You made the choice to be a parent. You have to make the sacrifices to be a better parent, to be a more involved parent, to be a more engaged parent. Work with the teachers, work with the administration. If your kid is being bullied, go through the proper channels. If you don't feel that your teacher is giving your student enough homework, or it's not age appropriate, it's too difficult, seek out resources. You parent, it's your responsibility. You're the first level of defense for your child. No one's going to care more about your child than you do. So if you do nothing, you send them out into the world. It's like into the wilderness. They don't know how to survive. They don't know how to cope. Failure is not an option. Speak life over your children, over your grandchildren. Spend time with them, reading, taking them to the library, asking them, how was your day? What did you learn? On the weekends, carve out, just like you schedule time to be on your phone, scrolling, watching TVs, going to concerts, going to dinner. Carve out some time every weekend to spend time one-on-one or as a group if you have multiple children. I know time is and I know everyone's working 2-3 jobs, but you owe it to your child. So again, Professor BJ, I love to hear your feedback. So tell me what your thoughts are. Who's at fault? What will you do differently as a parent to help your child succeed, or your children? It lays at your feet, parents. You are the ultimate decision maker in whether or not your child is successful in life. So thank you, and I'm back. No more celebrations. I'm really tired now. Okay, guys, take care. Bye-bye. You see I'm losing my voice here.